Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm Mr. Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Mr. Ball.
It's true. It's true. You let us down there, Mike, to be honest.
I forgot who it was.
It's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. We are the Office Blokes. We have a TikTok, believe it or not. Head over to TikTok, type in the Office Blokes, give us a follow. Oh, yeah. That's took me a second as well. I'm not with it today at all.
I think you're going to start dancing then, Mike. Or at least marching.
Young Mike. There's no need to. Anyway, yeah.
Sure.
Check us out on TikTok, and also shout out to Mr. Ballin, who did comment on our first ever Mr. Ballin reaction we did.
I like this guy, mate. He's just very engaging when he talks.
Yeah,
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
I've gone down the rabbit hole actually, and I watch a lot of Mr. Ballin, but I've never watched this particular video.
Someone mentioned he was a Marine.
Yeah. He was.
Yes, Marine.
I think he was medically discharged.
Oh, okay.
I read I half read a comment. I think the grenade went off next to him or something. And
Yeah.
he got injured. But I mean, to transition into being a huge TikToker, YouTuber, stuff like that. I think he's got 5 million subs, or nearly 5 million subs.
Wow.
So yeah, fair play to him. And mate, he's a great storyteller.
Yeah, he
isn't
is.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get into it. Mr. Ballin, horrifying home invasion in a safe neighbourhood. Sounds bad already.
I know what this is. We've had this. Home invasions in our safe neighbourhood. I've had a few people in ski masks at our door.
Really?
Not where I live now, where I used to live, which is why we moved.
Right.
Yeah. It's a gamble, you know, living in nicer places sometimes with nicer cars on the driveway and stuff. They get targeted, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, let's do it.
We all like to believe that when we are home behind our shut and locked doors and shut and locked windows, tucked away inside of our bedroom under our covers, that we're safe. That our family members and their bedrooms, they're all safe. But in reality, that's not true. Most of the time it is, and most of the time that illusion of safety is enough that you don't think about it very often, that someone actually could probably break into your house if they wanted to. Not all houses. Some people are much more prepared than others.
Nice.
But most people never have to worry about that actually becoming a reality, someone breaking into their home. But there are people that do live that nightmare when the place they look at as safe becomes unsafe. Today's story is about someone.
Before he gets into the story, because I reckon it's going to be quite engaging. There might not be a lot of pauses on this one. Since selling all my shotguns, I keep an axe next to the bed just in case anyone wants to come in.
Have you? Very nice.
See, where we used to live, I always used to keep weaponry that would assist me in tackling the intruders.
Yeah.
And I always kind of like hoped that they would intrude, so I could attack them and tie them up and keep them hostage in the shed. I had a nice brick shed, which would have been perfect. Yeah.
It's not the spirit.
Would have been the perfect holding point. Anyway, now I've moved, I don't keep anything.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh.
I don't even lock the door.
But it's different where you are because you're not ground level, are you?
No.
I go for the trusty old 9-9.
Yeah, I used to have a 9 pitching wedge.
You can't swing one when in close quarters.
Oh, you can.
Got the left and right, so you can
Land-
just
yeah.
jab on that.
Jab them in the face.
You get a good
on the
swing.
forehead. Can you imagine not on your forehead? 9-9. That'd hurt.
I just got a hand axe.
A polished 9-iron.
Polished 9-9, 2 teenage sons.
Yeah.
That should do.
What, pushed them in front of you?
Oh, yeah. They'll go first. His wife would probably go first, actually.
Yeah, and until I get my licence back and buy more guns, it's a hand axe. Protecting my family, protecting my kids.
Absolutely. Got to be done.
Who believed they lived in a safe house, in a safe neighborhood. But in a moment's notice, that illusion was shattered. Before we get into today's story, if you are a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious told in story format, well, then you've discovered the right channel, because that's all I do, and I upload 3 to 4 times a week. So if that's your style and you might be interested in something like that, I would encourage you to please gently incinerate, keep it together, here we go. Please gently incinerate the like button and then subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any of those weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's story. In 2017, a woman had just moved in to a beautiful home in Northern California that was just outside the suburbs. It was in kind of a more rural area. You know, there wasn't any street lights. She did have neighbors, but they were, pretty far away from where she was actually staying. But she loved it, and it was this beautiful area. She'd go outside at night on her porch, and she'd look up, and because there wasn't much light pollution, she could see the stars, and she just loved it. And even though she didn't see her neighbors very often, she knew them. They were older. They were really nice. It was just like a really warm, welcoming neighborhood, albeit people enjoyed their space, but it was safe. And it was a place that she truly loved and didn't expect to move anytime soon. Later that year, in the winter, she got home from work one day. She had a long shift. She was exhausted, and she pulls into her driveway, and when she steps out, she immediately smelled cigarette smoke. She didn't smoke. She didn't think her neighbors smoked. It was not a high-trafficked area. They're in kind of this rural part of Northern California, and her street, the only people that really ever went on it were her and her neighbors. And so she was thinking, who was smoking near my house? But it was really, really foggy this day. She could barely see, even when she was pulling into her driveway, she could only see what her headlights had illuminated on her house. It was no visibility. She kind of glanced around, but she was like, you know what? I'm so tired. I just want to go to bed. So she just kind of forgets about the cigarette smoke, wasn't really that concerned about it. And goes in her house, and even though it's 7 o'clock, she's like, I'm just gonna go to bed. So she heads upstairs, takes a shower, and gets in bed. A couple hours later, she wakes up because she thinks she hears something on her first floor. At the time, she had a close friend that was taking classes in the city, but working outside of the city, and sometimes didn't have enough time to get back to his house to shower and clean up before work, and so she'd actually given him a set of her keys so that at odd hours when he was going between classes and work, he could just come to her house, take a shower, get changed. It was just a lot easier for him, and they were close enough, it wasn't a big deal. But he always texted her before he came to her house as a courtesy. Hey, I'm gonna be there taking a shower, using your house just for a minute. And they rarely actually ran into each other because his hours were so strange. So when she wakes up and hears commotion downstairs, the first thing she does is check her phone for a text message because she's assuming that it's her friend who's just, stopped by to use the shower or change or whatever he's gonna do. So she reaches over to her bedside table, grabs her phone, and she opens it, and it blinded her because she's just woken up, and she kind of squinted at her phone, and she couldn't really tell if there was any unread messages from him or not, but she just put her phone down and decided she would yell out, just a lot faster than trying to read this text message. So she yells out to him, and there's silence downstairs. And she yells out again, hey, is that you? And there's silence. And then all of a sudden she hears very loud footsteps running across the first floor, charging up the stairs. She instinctively leaps out of bed, runs into her closet, which is right across from her bed. And as soon as she's literally stepping into the closet, she can hear whoever was downstairs now is in the hallway upstairs. And so the layout upstairs is there's a bedroom on the left, a bedroom on the right of the hallway. And straight ahead at the end, there's a bathroom. And the 2 bedroom doors were shut. The bathroom door was open. This person bombed up the stairs and ran right past the bedroom doors, one of them she was in, straight to the bathroom. It allowed her an opportunity to pop open the attic crawl space that the access was inside of her closet. She pops that open and is able to clamber up into the attic, and is literally, her feet are still being sucked up into the attic as whoever that was. They realize she's not in the bathroom, and they started charging back down. They punch open the door that she's in, and they charge into her bedroom. She's trying to suck her legs up into the attic crawl space. She gets him up just in time, and has her knees sucked up against her chest when he comes into her bedroom, flips on the light, and opens the closet. From her vantage point, she's looking down, and just because of the way the view was obscured, she could only make out that it was someone wearing kind of tattered jeans with the cuffs rolled up and dirty work boots. This was definitely not her friend. And as she's
detention.
I'm sweating on this.
They get the fucking creepiest set of stairs, right, and the creepiest of people with the Jason mask on and the fucking knife and all that sort of thing.
The little low ambient noise in the background as well while he's telling the story. It's just all the tension is killing me.
Well, I remember when this happened to us, and the guy we had a camera on the door, the Ring doorbell sort of thing, and my son come down and went, someone at the door. And it was like, he came into our room, and I was like 3 in the morning. I just you wake up all I was like, what? He said, someone at the door. By this time, my wife had got the Ring doorbell on the camp phone. She shows it me there's a fucking guy in a ski mask at the door.
Oh, fucking hell.
Right, with full on that. So I just went, right, got the golf club out, got my undies on, I'm fucking chasing him down the road. Everyone's like, what are you doing? Don't chase him. Just get back in.
My mate used to live in a pub when we were in high school, and they lived on the first floor and the pub was below, and 3 blokes with shotguns climbed in through his sister's bedroom window, and his sisters were 13 having a sleepover, and like a load of teenage girls, 3 guys, masks, shotguns, all that sort of stuff. My mate ran out to try and protect his sisters, got a shotgun butt to the face. He's on the floor, the guy's pointing the gun at him, and his dad ran out of his bedroom, stark bollock naked, and just fucking ran at the guys and did not stop. And they all ran back into the girl's bedroom and dived head first out the first floor window and then into a car and just went. So do it naked.
It was a hotbed where we live for burglaries. It was like burglary every night. Someone's getting done on the road.
Bad, that, isn't it? It's pretty bad.
You try
even with the security firms there, they fucking still managed to get in. They were still rife.
Try it with me. You're gonna have to deal with a naked me with an axe.
You don't be doing that, do you?
With a big chopper.
You should be quite safe.
Looking at his shoes and pants, wondering if he's going to poke his head in and look up and see this crawl space where she is, and she has nothing she can do. If he decided to reach up and get her, there's nowhere for her to go. She didn't have her phone, it was on the bedside table, and she's just hoping that he doesn't see her. Luckily, he turns around and starts rummaging through everything in her bedroom, basically looking for her. Flips the bed over, knocks over the dresser, and then he screams this loud scream of frustration. And as he's screaming, she pushes the little crawl space cover over the spot. So now she's completely tucked away inside of the crawl space and she can't see anything. And for the next several hours, this person was literally screaming and running around the house, punching walls, screaming, "Where are you?" Running down the hall, reopening the bathroom, going into the other bedroom, clearly knocking things over, just going crazy looking for this girl. And then it slowed down and she heard him walking around the house, and he would say periodically,
"I'm gonna find you. You haven't left yet. I'm gonna find you."
And she started smelling cigarette smoke. He was smoking inside of her house, and then she realized that he was probably at her house when she first got in. That's why she smelled the cigarette smoke. For hours, she huddled inside of this attic crawl space that realistically is a little bit obscured inside of the closet. You would need to be looking for it to see it. And she just hoped that he didn't find her. And so she started counting. She figured, if I can just count to 1,000 with silence downstairs, if I can do that, that means he's probably gone. And so she would start counting, and she'd get to like 200, and then she'd hear him whispering or yelling or knocking something over, and she'd go back down to 0. And so all night, she basically would try to count to 1,000 until finally she did, without it being interrupted. It was probably like 5 or 6 in the morning, so it's been hours and hours of this guy looking for her in her house. And she believed that it was safe enough for her to open up the attic crawl space and kind of peek back into the room. And so she moves the attic crawl space, the little square piece of wood that blocks the crawl space, she lifts it up and moves it. And she can now see that just from her little vantage point to where his feet were, that she could see before, that clearly things have been broken. There's glass on the ground. She can see there's clothes on the ground. And she wriggles down. There's no sign of him. It's been a while since she heard him. And she darts across her now destroyed bedroom. Her bed's been flipped. Things have been broken. There's holes in the wall. She gets her phone and goes right back in the crawl space. She calls the police and is like whispering as she's talking to them, because now she's...
I'm glad she did that, actually. Because when you see normal films, she probably would have picked the phone up and then gone downstairs.
Yeah.
Think, why?
Hello?
Why would you
gone?
do that? Hello?
Yeah.
Worried that maybe he heard her and he's going to come back. She really doesn't know if he's gone. She just knew she had to call the police. Otherwise, she was dead if he was still there. She gets the police on the phone. They say, "We'll be right there. Stay where you are." The police show up and she can hear them entering the house. They're yelling, "Police, we're coming inside." They search the whole house. And they start yelling for her. They start yelling for her by name. And at this point, she feels comfortable opening up the crawl space and coming down to show herself. Sure enough, there's the police, and they're like, "There's nobody here. Do you want to walk around the house and see if anything was taken?" Every room was completely trashed. Holes in the wall, things broken. Whoever this was looking for her everywhere in the house and was basically rummaging through everything to try to find her. And the police are like, "You're very lucky that you thought to jump into that crawl space, because we found a number of your knives from your butcher block have been taken out. They were scattered around the house. It seems like he might have grabbed a knife and then in frustration was maybe looking for you and slashing at different things. Then he'd throw a knife and get another one. It's pretty clear this person was trying to do you harm, and you're very lucky that you had the wherewithal to immediately, when you heard those running footsteps, charge into the closet and hide in the attic. That almost definitely saved your life. Although she would stay at this house for another 3 years after the incident, it ultimately proved to be too difficult to stay in that house. She was constantly afraid that it was going to happen again. It was very traumatic, and so she ultimately moved. So it just goes to show that while we believe we are safe when we are home, the reality is all those locks and cameras and all the stuff we install around our house to keep ourselves safe, that's really just to keep the honest people out. The monsters out there, the evil people that want to do us harm, they don't care about breaking windows and forcing their way in. So you should always have a plan of what you would do if someone broke into your home, how you would handle it, whether it is an escape plan or even concealed weapons. But you should do something to protect yourself and have a plan in case the worst case scenario happens to you. So that's going to do it, guys. If you enjoyed the story today, if you would, please gently and
It's I've got sweaty palms.
Yeah, like I say, my plan would be the 9-9 and go apeshit.
I don't have a plan at the moment. If anyone broke into my house, it's only one way in, one way out.
Yeah,
My house.
My plan varies on whether or not the kids are with me. If they are, I'm in their bedroom with an axe, and I'm against the door phoning the police.
Yeah.
That's it. If I'm on my own and someone's coming up the stairs, they're not going to do well.
Yeah.
They're really not going to do well. But I don't want the kids to see that. They're the priority. So the thing would be in their bedroom, secure the door, and just.
I can't believe she stayed there for another 3 years.
I wouldn't understand.
Because the amount of time the guy was there, it's obviously for hours and hours, wasn't it? You think, well, was it targeted? It's
personal, isn't it?
Is it personal? You think.
Or
if someone broke in, then
he's
just
probably
went,
hid in the crawl space.
Oh yeah.
Both sat there next
Still
to each other waiting.
Oh shit, it's you. Boom.
Oh man.
Just kissed her on the cheek.
Yeah.
It's a great advert for owning firearms, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because if she would have
frightening.
protected herself, not to try and kill the guy, but if she was in the crawl space with a pistol, at least, she doesn't have to use
feel a bit
it.
more
But at
secure,
least if he
wouldn't
did catch her, it's just bang, shot in
Yeah,
the
but
face.
modern day now, security cameras are so advanced that you can pick up movement and motions. Because we got, like I say, on our security cameras, when we've been trying to attempting break-ins for a few times. One of them, our kids were up playing fucking PlayStation or whatever till 3, 4, 5 in the morning with the mates. So there's a bunch of like teenage kids in the living room, and the camera picked them up crawling under the trying to crawl. There was a line of them crawling under the camera, trying to avoid the camera.
Yeah,
but obviously the camera's sensors like that, and it's picked them all up. But they caught them all crawling under the camera, straying away. But it was probably 6, 7 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
In a more remote place like that, though, you can't rely on your cameras and like neighbours and things like that. You've got to do something about
something
it
like that. You probably have to have firearms.
Yeah, I mean, even the police, they could be like, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 minutes away, couldn't they, as well, even in an emergency. So, if you're in a really, remote part of the country, it's...
well, even if you're I was in a major town, it took the police, 3 weeks to come to our house?
It's
could have killed fucking neighbourhood.
It's a joke at the moment, isn't it? I mean, thankfully, none of us have needed him. No. But my go-to thing, if I had to phone the cops, would be, the guy's got a gun.
Yeah.
Someone's in the house. Did he have a weapon? Yeah, I saw a firearm.
I'm sure it did.
They'll be around there rapid.
Yeah,
everyone will be there. Helicopters
that's
will be out.
That's how you get the cops to come around.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The other way to get the cops to come around is to say, I've got a firearm, and watch how quickly they turn up then as well.
Anyway. Great story.
Yeah, he's a great storyteller, isn't he?
Yeah, brilliant.
The suspense there.
It just keeps you engaged all the time,
all
the way through.
Yeah.
It's a real art form.
Did his shirt keep changing colour, or was it just me?
I think it was the camera. I don't know if there was a filter on, but it was the same shirt, but it went kind of green and then went blue, didn't it?
Yeah.
But I looked at that, all the colour changed when that happened.
Right, okay.
But that art form of storytelling around the campfire and stuff, it's a bit of a lost art, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
True,
And it's great that YouTube's bringing that sort of thing back.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to... I know we say a lot of these videos which we watch here are too long to watch and to react to.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to go down the channel watching his channel.
That's why I do, because I figure there's that much on there. There's loads I'm never going to see that we can react to.
Yeah.
But some of the top places you shouldn't go that people went anyway. That series is great. It really is.
Yeah,
definitely.
I enjoy his stuff.
Really,
very good. Good stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers. Guys.